3 years ago at a BASS Open on Toledo Bend, that massive reservoir on the Texas-Louisiana line, I watched a 67-year-old man in a dented aluminum boat quietly destroy a guy who had just dropped $200 on a new spinning setup and a $70 bottle of premium scent spray. Young angler. Nice boat. 2 bass in 4 hours. The old man? 19. Same stretch of bank. Same morning. I was close enough to watch exactly what he did before every single cast. He reached into his front pocket, pulled out something small, put it in his mouth, chewed it for about 20 seconds, rubbed his fingers together, and cast. That was it. No spray bottle, no dipping kit, just that ritual every time. Stick around to the end. I'm showing you exactly what it was. He kept casting. I kept watching. Fish after fish. At one point, he had a strike before his lure even finished settling. The guy next to him, with the $200 setup, hadn't had a bite in 40 minutes. That's when I wrote it down and went home to test it. Drop a comment right now. What city are you watching from? I want to know where this is about to go. Here's where it gets real. I used that exact technique the following spring at a tournament in East Texas. Led the leaderboard at the weigh-in with a 23-pound bag. Strong on any Texas reservoir. And they disqualified me. Not for a rules violation out on the water. At the weigh-in table, one of the judges leaned in, smelled my hands, and said, "Unauthorized attractant application." Tournament over. I drove home disqualified, and absolutely certain that this thing was real. Because if it didn't work, nobody would care enough to ban it. The fishing industry has no interest in you knowing about this because there's no margin in it. No SKU, no label, no brand loyalty program. What the old man was using costs $1.49 at any Walmart, Kroger, or H-E-B in America, and one bag covers you for a full season. Meanwhile, the big scent brands charge you $20 to $80 for a bottle of synthetic attractant that's mostly water and artificial fragrance. And here's the thing. That smell is engineered to appeal to the person buying it, not to the base. You smell licorice and think, that's fishy. The fish smells something off. A synthetic signal that doesn't match the chemical signature they're hardwired to chase. And they ignore it. Before I show you what this is and how it works at the chemistry level, I want to mention something. Because this technique alone will change what happens in your live well. But it's one piece of a bigger picture. The old-timers who fished the Ozarks, the Everglades, the Mississippi backwaters, the Tennessee River chain, they didn't just know bait. They knew how to read current breaks, structure, and seasonal feeding windows that no tackle store has ever bottled. I put all of that together in high-level fishing. The water game. If you've been coming home with an empty live well while the guy in the next boat limits out, the link in the first pinned comment has the full guide to stop guessing and start reading the water the way those masters did. Go grab it. Now, what was the old man chewing? Star anise. 1 seed. The same spice, sitting on a shelf at your grocery store right now, probably next to the cinnamon and cardamom. A full bag at Walmart, $1.49. One bag lasts you an entire fishing season. The anise-based spray at the tackle shop, $22.99. Same core compound. Roughly a 1,400% markup for the bottle. Sounds too simple. But here's the science. Largemouth and smallmouth bass have an olfactory system approximately 100 times more sensitive than a dog's. They detect chemical compounds at concentrations of parts per billion in the water. When baitfish get hurt, a wounded shad, a struggling bluegill, their bodies release amino acid chains and aromatic compounds. Those compounds are the dinner bell. Star anise contains anethole, a compound making up 80 to 90% of its essential oil. Anethole mimics exactly those distress markers that injured prey release into the water. When you chew a seed and handle your bait, you coat it in a chemical signal the base's lateral line and olfactory receptors read as "something hurt is right here." The fish doesn't choose to investigate. It just goes. 200 million years of instinct firing all at once. Think of it like this. You can see a BBQ joint from the highway, but you don't pull over until you smell the smoke. Bass work the same way, except their nose is running constantly, even when they're not actively hunting. Now, here's exactly how to do it, because there's a right way, and a way that kills the whole effect. What you need: whole star anise seeds. Not powder, not extract. Whole seeds only. A small Ziploc bag in your tackle box. Clean hands, free of sunscreen, cologne, hand sanitizer, or dish soap. Any of those wipes out the signal completely. Total per trip, about 25 cents. Your gas to the boat ramp probably cost more. Step 1. The night before your trip, chew one seed for 30 seconds and spit it out. This isn't about scenting anything yet. It primes your saliva to release the oil faster the next morning. Your first cast of the day will carry a much stronger coating because of it. Step 2. At the water, right before your first cast, put one fresh seed between your molars and chew slowly for 20 seconds. You'll feel a warm, licorice-like heat. That's the anethole releasing. That's what you want on your fingers. Step 3. Hold your soft plastic, swim bait, or live bait in your coated fingers for 10 to 15 seconds. Don't scrub it, just hold it, and let the oil transfer naturally. Step 4. Cast. From that point on, don't touch your phone, your rod handle, or your drink. Any foreign scent on your fingers resets everything. This prep sequence is one of the techniques in the full guide. There are more profiles in there for spotted bass and smallmouth that respond to slightly different compound ratios depending on water temperature and the time of year. Store your remaining seeds in a dry Ziploc in your tackle box. No refrigeration needed. They stay effective for 2 years. Only, all of this falls apart if you don't know where and when to put the bait. That's where most people leave fish sitting on the bottom. Cast tight to cover. Dock pilings, submerged timber, channel drop-offs, points where grass lines meet open water. Anethole disperses in current. Cast upstream or upcurrent from where the fish are holding, and let the water carry the scent trail down to them. In slow or still conditions, give the bait more time, at least 90 seconds before any retrieve movement. Best windows: first 90 minutes after sunrise and the last 45 before dark. Bass are cold-blooded, and their feeding aggression peaks in those low-light periods. The chemical trigger lands harder when their metabolism is already in hunting mode. Largemouth respond the fastest. Smallmouth on moving water, the New River in Virginia, the James, the Delaware, the Tennessee River system will react almost immediately once the current pulls the scent downstream to where they're holding. Now the fatal error. And this one wrecks everything. Recasting too soon. The moment your lure hits the water, it starts building a scent column downstream. But if you reel it back after 20 seconds because nothing struck, you killed that trail before it reached anything. The old man at Toledo Bend let every cast sit for a full 60 to 90 seconds before any movement, sometimes 2 full minutes. Then a single twitch. The fish were already there. Don't interrupt the signal before it does its job. Most people fish too fast. That's the real reason they go home empty. Picture your next Saturday morning on Lake Guntersville, Chickamauga, Okeechobee, wherever your home water is. The guy in the next boat is spraying his lure with a $25 bottle for the fourth time this morning. You chew one seed, work it for 20 seconds, and your rod bends on the third cast. He looks over. You're throwing the same Strike King swim bait he's been running all morning. He can't explain it. You can. Click now. Get your access to high-level fishing. The water game. And let these strategies start transforming your next fishing trips. The link is in the first pinned comment. When you come back from the water applying what you learned, come back here and comment, "I caught more." That will be your commitment to your evolution in fishing. And maybe that's exactly the step that separates the stories you hear from the stories you're going to start telling. The knowledge that catches fish was never on a tackle store shelf. It lived in the hands of men who fished before there were fishing shows, brand deals, or Instagram guides. They didn't need any of it. Turns out, neither do you. Subscribe and hit the bell, because the next video goes into something those same old-timers never talked about on camera.